The Galactic Council chambers fell silent as Ambassador Kiara Chen stepped forward, her boots echoing against the crystalline floor. Representatives from 47 species watched with varied expressions, some curious, others dismissive, most indifferent. Humanity had requested this emergency session, and protocol demanded they listen, even if no one expected anything significant from the young species. "Honored delegates," Kiara began, her voice steady despite the weight of what she carried. "I stand before you not as a diplomat but as a messenger. Earth has sent me to deliver its final communication to this council." The Vrex ambassador clicked his mandibles in what passed for laughter among his kind. "Final communication? Have your people finally accepted their place in the outer territories?" Kiara's expression remained neutral, but those who knew humans well enough noticed the dangerous calm in her dark eyes. 3 cycles ago, Earth petitioned this council for protection. The Krath Dominion had begun systematic raids on our colony worlds. We showed you evidence of 17 settlements burned, 60,000 civilians dead. We asked only for the council to enforce its own laws regarding territorial aggression. And we investigated the matter thoroughly, the council arbiter replied, its translation device rendering its crystalline chimes into standard galactic speech. The evidence was deemed insufficient. "Insufficient," Kiara repeated softly. 2 cycles ago we returned. The death toll had risen to 300,000. Entire world silenced. We presented genetic evidence, recovered Krath weapons, survivor testimonies. We begged for intervention. The chamber rustled with uncomfortable movement. Several delegates averted their sensory organs. "You told us to pursue diplomatic channels, to negotiate, to show restraint." Kiara's hands clenched at her sides. "So we tried. We sent envoys to the Krath. They returned in pieces delivered in decorative boxes as a mockery of our peace efforts." The Krath delegate, a massive reptilian being, rose from his seat. "The weakness of humanity is not the concern of—" "Sit down," Kiara commanded, her voice cutting through the chamber like a blade. Something in her tone made even the predatory Krath hesitate. "You've had your turn to speak. For 3 cycles you've had your turn. Now you listen." In the observation gallery above, Captain William Drake watched the proceedings with grim satisfaction. His hand rested on a datapad that contained coordinates, fleet positions, and activation codes. He'd argued against giving the council one more chance. Kiara had insisted. She'd always been the optimist, the believer in systems and justice. He suspected she wasn't anymore. 1 month ago, Kiara continued, Earth sent its final petition. The Krath had destroyed New Horizon Colony. 400,000 souls, including my younger brother and his family. We presented irrefutable evidence. Quantum-stamped recordings. Krath command codes traced to their military hierarchy. We asked not for your protection anymore, but simply for you to stand aside while we defended ourselves. The Arbiter's crystals dimmed. The Council voted to impose sanctions on both parties and demanded mutual stand-down. You agreed to these terms. We did, Kiara nodded. Earth's government, in its infinite hope for peaceful resolution, agreed to stand down. For 30 days we held our fleets even as intelligence reported the Krath massing for another assault. She paused, letting the weight of her next words build. Yesterday they attacked Earth itself. The chamber erupted. Delegates rose, voices overlapping in a dozen languages. The Krath delegates' laugh boomed above the chaos. Earth still stands human. Your precious homeworld suffered barely a scratch from our preliminary strike, Kiara finished for him. Yes. Your fleet arrived in Sol system with 200 warships. They destroyed our orbital stations, killed 80,000 people in the bombardment. Then they broadcast a message demanding Earth's unconditional surrender, to be enslaved as a lesson to other upstart species. She pulled out a small hollow projector and activated it. The image of Earth appeared, blue and green and beautiful, with Krath ships surrounding it like a swarm of insects. The Krath fleet commander gave us 1 hour to respond. Kiara's voice dropped to barely above a whisper, forcing every delegate to strain their senses to hear her. We used 59 minutes to evacuate our remaining orbital platforms. In the 60th minute, Earth responded. The hologram shifted. The Krath fleet began to move toward Earth, weapons charging. Then from seemingly nowhere, space itself rippled. Hundreds of human vessels appeared, flickering into existence through jump points that shouldn't have been possible so close to a gravity well. The Council may not know this, Kiara said, but humanity has certain qualities that we've kept quiet. We're persistent, patient, And when we're hurt, we don't just heal. We adapt, we learn, we become something harder than what tried to break us. The hologram showed the battle, compressed into minutes. Human ships moved with uncanny precision, their weapons tearing through Krath shields like paper. But it wasn't the firepower that shocked the council delegates. It was the coordination, the tactical brilliance, the sheer ruthless efficiency. For 3 cycles, while we begged you for help, we were also preparing, Kiara explained. Every raid the Krath conducted taught us about their tactics, their technology, their weaknesses. Every time you told us to show restraint, we built another ship. Every diplomatic failure made us stronger. The hologram showed Krath ships breaking apart, escape pods jettisoning. But human vessels intercepted every single one, tractoring them in. The Battle of Saul lasted 8 hours, Kiara said. Of the 200 Krath warships that attacked our home, none escaped. We captured 73,000 Krath military personnel, including their fleet commander. The Krath delegate roared, lunging toward Kiara. He made it 3 steps before William Drake appeared from the observation deck's entrance, moving with frightening speed. The magnetic restraints he'd activated locked the Krath in place, suspended mid-charge. As I was saying, Kiara continued as if nothing had interrupted her, we captured their command structure, and we interrogated them. We learned something interesting, the raids, the attacks, the genocide of our colonies. The council knew 6 members of this very body received economic incentives from the Krath Dominion to ensure human expansion was contained. You didn't just ignore our pleas for help. You were paid to let us die. The chamber descended into chaos. Accusations flew. Delegates pointed at each other. The arbiter's crystals flashed red, demanding order. William descended the stairs, taking his place beside Kiara. Together they presented a united front, humanity's final message to the stars. Earth's fleets are now in motion, William announced, his military bearing commanding instant attention. We have 1,000 warships proceeding to Krath space. Not for conquest, not for occupation, for eradication. The Council will not permit, the Arbiter began. The Council, Kiara interrupted, her voice ice-cold, has no authority over Earth anymore. We hereby withdraw from the Galactic Council. Effective immediately. We tried your peace. We followed your rules. We died by your laws. Now you'll witness what happens when humanity stops asking for permission to survive. She turned to face the assembly directly. We gave you every chance. We showed you mercy, diplomacy, patience, all the virtues you claimed to value. You responded with bureaucracy and betrayal. So let this message reach every species in the galaxy. Humanity tried peace. We begged for justice. We were denied both. William activated the holodisplay one final time. It showed human fleet movements spreading out from Sol like an avenging tide. Not just toward Krath space, but positioning throughout the galaxy. We're not your victims anymore, Kiara concluded. We're not your pawns. We're not your lesson in knowing your place. We are humanity, and we've learned the most important lesson of all. In a galaxy where justice is bought and sold, where civilization is a facade for exploitation, the only law that matters is the one you're willing to enforce yourself. She and William turned to leave. As they reached the chamber doors, Kiara looked back one final time. The Krath wanted war. The Council wanted compliance. Earth wanted peace. Her smile was terrible to behold. Now everyone gets what we wanted. Good luck, honored delegates. You're going to need it. The doors closed behind them, leaving the Galactic Council in chaos, finally understanding the cost of pushing humanity too far. In the void between stars, 1,000 human warships continued their silent advance, carrying a message written in fire and determination. Never again.